Peace and love, family. Peace and love. It's your boy Chris Enlightened coming back again with some more spiritual vittles. And today I'm going in on spirituality in a workplace. Ooh, this is a good one, Babbly. This is a good one. I want to give a special shout out to my sis traveling out there in Cali. She has some questions on this, so I'm here to, give you my enlightened perspective on spirituality in the workplace. First off, when you really develop or walk on or embrace your spiritual path, it's not something that you do sometimes. It's not something that you just do at home. When you really truly embrace spirituality, it encompasses everything that you do. It follows you. It's like your shadow. Everywhere you go, you'll become a spiritual being. The way you talk, walk, think, speak, feel, eat, everything is spiritual. Everything. And I remember when I first started my spiritual path, I had negative people around me in the workplace. And what I had to do was slowly dissolve all their negative miasms, dissolve their mental poverty consciousness, and I switched them into becoming a more open type of person or people. And what I did was something that they weren't aware of. And what I did was just taping divine prayers underneath their desks. I know this may sound extreme to you guys, but it's something that I did and it worked for me. I took the miracle prayer and I shrunk it down to like the size of a nail on the paper. And I made like 80 copies of it on a piece of paper. And when they were going to lunch or something like that, or at the end of the day when everybody left, I took a small piece of that, I cut it out with some tape and just taped it on the bottom of their desks. If you can't do their desks, do their chairs. Do it somewhere around them. Again, don't get caught. But this is just something I did and it worked. Because what the miracle prayer does, it permeates around everyone. It heals people and it heals things. And I noticed that when I started doing that, people started smiling more. People started being nicer to one another. People started being more receptive to the things that I was saying more and things like that. And it worked for me. It worked for me. Another thing that I did was I would take sage, crinkle it up in my pocket, make it dust, and just sprinkle it all around my desk. That will prevent anybody negative coming around me, spewing any negative vernacular. And it worked for me. It worked for me. One thing that you need to be mindful of is your light. You need to share your light wisely. And the more light you have, the more light you attract. And when you embody a light body within your consciousness, it permeates through everyone around you and it will engulf them. You're around the people you work with in most cases more time than you are with your family. So you want to create an environment that's conducive to maintaining a winning energy. You know what I mean? And these are things that I've done to help create a positive environment in the workplace. Another thing that you can do is just wish people well, speak to people, smile at people. You know what I mean? Show empathy to people. A lot of people fight for their limitations because they're not aware of all the beauty that's around them. But when you got someone that's brainwashed and that's indoctrinated in a life full of suffering, you got to help them dissolve those limitations. If you choose to, you don't have to. You can be like my wife was. She was just in her own little bubble. She didn't speak to most people. She was just on her own little bubble. And she let her light permeate around people that way. But me, I was like, I'm taping these prayers under these desks, on these chairs, sprinkling sage around the office. And it's just something I did without telling people. I didn't say, yeah, I'm about to sprinkle sage around your desk. It was just something that I did. I'm like a spiritual scientist. I like to try things and see what happens. You know what I mean? So I implore you all, if you out there, you in the workplace, people talking ill to you, speaking negative, mad because you're smiling all the time, mad because you're winning. You can either just forget about them and just ignore them, or you can try to start taping divine prayers on their desks. I did a couple videos with mantras, the miracle prayer, the healing prayer, the Anabacoa, the Isnisa Vajrayana, the body of light, all these mantras that you can, the Ganesha mantra, it removes obstacles. Find a mantra that resonates with you, print it out, shrink them, and tape it and see what happens. Don't tell anybody. Sometimes when you tell people about your magic, it weakens the power. But when you don't tell anybody about your magic, like magicians don't tell anybody their tricks, it has more of an effect. So on that note, I hope that helped you traveling. There's some things that you can do to create a reality in your workplace that's conducive to a cornucopia of wins. So on that note, family, peace and love. Winning!